Hey, good morning and welcome to the John DeVito Show. This was kind of an unannounced show this morning, but I'm kind of fired up today. I'm not happy about some of the things that I'm seeing in this country right now. And last night we watched Joe Biden tell us all he is going to mandate the vaccine. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm vaccinated. However, we are losing our freedom every day as long as this tyrannical administration keeps doing what they're doing. It is just unacceptable, and we need to stand up. So that's what the show is going to be about today. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, but man, what is going on in this country right now? And we can't have mandates. I'm sorry, the vaccine may be the right decision for a lot of people, but once your president starts telling you that you have to get vaccinated, we're no longer free. So everyone, welcome to the John DeVito Show. It is Friday, 8:40 a.m. Deb, welcome. Snow Pro, welcome. I see you coming in, and this is not my usual time, but man, I'm fired up today. I haven't been fired up in a while, but I'm kind of ticked off right now, and I had to get on and just kind of speak my piece a little bit as to what's going on in this country right now. Doss, welcome to the show, brother. So, for me, I want to start, before I get into the show, I want to talk about an experience I had up in New Hampshire. As I told you, I was at Lake Winnipesaukee last weekend, and I promised a guy I would give him a shout out on my podcast. So I was up in Moultonborough, New Hampshire, beautiful part of New Hampshire, and I drove by a place called Goodhue Marine and Firearms. And when I drove by this place, I didn't go to New Hampshire on vacation expecting to buy ammunition, but I drove by this place and I saw a sign. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, check out the sign. I'll post it on Twitter also. But there's a sign out in front of this place that says they sell vegan rifles, gluten-free handguns, keto-friendly Kel-Tecs, and they're served daily. Literally, I drove by this place and I lost it laughing, and I had to drive in. So I've got my kids in the car. They decided they did not want to go in with me. I expose them to guns. They're not afraid of guns or anything. But I went in and I met the owner, a gentleman by the name of Brett. And it was kind of funny. I mentioned to him that I was going to shout out his place on my podcast. And he looked at me and said, well, is it a conservative podcast? I said, it absolutely is. So I laughed. We had a nice conversation. Great guy. Absolutely great guy. So if you're in the Lake Winnipesaukee area of New Hampshire, make sure you stop in to Goodhue Marine and Firearms. Ask for Brett. Tell him that you heard about his place on my podcast, and he's a great guy. You'll really like him. The sign's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. And the funny thing is, and I see Doss saying, I will put it in the chat. I see Doss saying that a coworker of his is going up there next week, and he's going to go up and maybe check it out as well. The best part about this location, now, if you understand Lake Winnipesaukee, you get a lot of yuppies from Massachusetts coming up to the lake. It's just the way it is. A lot of the lakefront homes are $1 million plus, and you get a lot of people from Massachusetts that vacation up at Winnipesaukee. So you've got a ton of massholes. And I'm from Massachusetts, so I guess I'm a masshole now. I see Doss, douchebag massholes. I get it, but I grew up in New Hampshire, so I guess I'm an adopted douchebag masshole. But you get a lot of massholes that are driving by this store, and when they see this sign, I mean, it's a direct shot at a lot of them. I love it. So I went in, bought some ammo. The prices were fantastic. I got 2 boxes of 9mm rounds, 50 rounds in each box for $26 each. I mean, if you're looking online right now, the price of ammo is through the roof and you can't get any. This guy had a decent selection of ammo. I mean, it's tight everywhere, but a nice selection of other stuff. And also there's a marina as well. So yeah, Doss, I would definitely recommend you coming. Crazy Kane, welcome to the show. So one more time, I will put it in the chat, but if you're in New Hampshire and you're going to be in the Moultonborough, New Hampshire area, make sure you stop by Goodhue Marine and Firearms. And again, the sign, they basically offer vegan rifles, gluten-free handguns, keto-friendly Kel-Tecs, and they're served daily, so don't miss it. So, all right, everybody, thank you. Hey, Crazy Can, welcome to the show. All right, everybody, I'm getting into this now. I'm here early. I was going to wait to actually do my show after the old man show, and I couldn't wait. I'm so fired up right now. I'm so angry right now, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned about our country. Now, I don't know if anybody else is feeling this right now, but if you saw the polls this past week, I mean, this is not just Fox News reporting this, but CNN, MSNBC, obviously the New York Post, but then the New York Times. Joe Biden's approval rating is at an all-time low. It's dropped below 40%. Some people are saying 39%. Some are saying 32%. This is lower than the approval rating that Donald Trump had during his 4 years as president. So Biden is at an all-time low. We saw the disaster in Afghanistan where this guy literally screwed the entire thing up. Now, am I saying that we shouldn't have pulled out of Afghanistan? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have pulled out. The war needed to end. But the way this moron did it is ridiculous. He screwed up the entire thing. And Doss is saying, I wonder if Joe knows. He's right. Snow Pro saying he wants a vegan AR-15. I'm with you, brother. I need one too. I think we're all going to need AR-15 soon. So if you don't have a gun at this point, you might want to think about buying one because I think we're in trouble. I think we're in trouble in this country. So going back to Afghanistan before I get to what's currently going on. I mean, this jackass. I mean, for me, I'm not a military expert. I'm some Joe Blow that does a small podcast here out of Massachusetts. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a military expert. But for me, if I'm going to pull my troops out of Afghanistan, wouldn't it make sense to maybe increase your presence for a bit? Increase your presence, pull out the Americans that want to come out, pull out the Afghan people who supported us and wanted to make sure, that they fought along with us and wanted to make sure that we were safe. Make sure we pull them out. Get the people out of Afghanistan that wanted to come back to America, right? Get them out. Get them out safely. The military should have been the last people leaving. They should have been the last people out of Afghanistan. And again, I'm a lay person. I'm not a genius, right? But I mean, it's fucking common sense. Why would we pull out the military and leave Americans behind and leave service dogs behind and leave Afghans behind us that, worked with us for 20 years trying to prevent this horrible regime from taking root and killing people? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense, and I don't understand it. I've been watching TikTok. I'm seeing videos of women now going down the streets of Kabul, and men are grabbing them and literally putting like sheets over their heads so they can't show their faces anymore. I'm hearing stories of sex trafficking of young girls out of Afghanistan now. Joe Biden, this is on you. And for the liberals that maybe listen to my show, yes, George Bush started the war. Should we have been in Afghanistan? No, we shouldn't have been there. But George Bush started the war. Was it an errant war? Yes, it was. We were there for 20 years. We lost a lot of lives. Russia learned, or actually it was the Soviet Union learned, that you can't beat Afghanistan. They are a country of war, and they will basically fight you for the next 100 years if you want to. So pulling out was the right decision in my opinion. However, the way they did it was done with just asinine incompetence. And Joe Biden, the blood is on your hands. The blood is on your hands, Biden. You blew it. And, I'm sorry, you can rationalize it any way that you want. You can blame Bush, you can blame Trump, but it's you. And I like Doss's comment down in the chat. I won't repeat that, but I do agree with you 100% on that comment completely. So, this guy, I've never, again, I tell you a lot. And for you guys that are coming in, I'm sure I know that the few that are in here have been here before. But if you could share my live, I'd appreciate it. If you're new, please follow my show. I would appreciate it. But I am, again, a prayer warrior. Welcome to the show. So, hey, Mike, thank you. So, I'm 53 years old. I'm older than a lot of you guys in here. And I've said this before. I've experienced a lot of presidents in my life. This guy is without question the worst president I have ever seen. It's not even close. The only guy that may have been close was Jimmy Carter, back from Georgia, back in the early, whenever it was, 70s, whatever it was. I was a young kid. But I remember Jimmy Carter. He was terrible. This guy is literally destroying our country. He has destroyed our country in the span of 9 months? I mean, it is horrible. I've never seen anything like this. And you're right. The difference is Carter was harmless. This guy's dangerous. He is dangerous. I mean, he does not know what the hell he's doing. The man most likely has dementia. I don't think he's truly running the country, but they're putting him up there, propping him up on the stage, giving him his dementia medicine, changing his Depends, putting him up on stage, and letting him give these speeches where he's almost incoherent. And that's what we're seeing right now in America. Now, last night, this guy got on television. And welcome, PBG. Thank you for coming into the show. Again, if you're new, please follow my show. Please share my live. I would appreciate it. But last night, this guy gets on stage and basically lectures us and tells us that their patience is wearing thin with the American people who have not gotten vaccinated. He scolded us. You're right. He scolded us. How dare he scold the American people who voted him into office? How dare he have the balls to get on the air and tell us that his patience is wearing thin with us? Joe, I've got some bad news for you. The founding fathers of this country were brilliant men. They are not out of date. The Constitution is not irrelevant. It was a document put in place to make sure that we did not end up serving a tyrannical government ever in the future again. And guess what, Biden? You are the leader of a tyrannical government. You are now running this country into the ground, and you are a servant of the people. You are a servant to the 330 million people that live in this country. How dare you get on television and scold the American people, saying that you are losing your patience with us? Go shit in your hat. Go shit in your hat. You have absolutely no right to scold us. You have no right to tell the American people that you are losing your patience with us. The American people, basically by looking at your poll numbers, which are 39% down to 32%, the American people are losing their patience with you. Hi, Dina Joe. Hi, Kelvin. Hi, Reddy Ryder. Hi, Angel. Welcome to the show. Everybody that's coming in, if you're new, please follow me. Please share my live. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm fired up this morning because I believe this is the greatest country in the world. I truly believe it. I believe it with all of my heart. We have been the shining beacon of light for the world for many, many years because we've represented freedom. We've represented the American dream where people can come in from other countries and they can come here, they can move their families, they can get a job, they can pursue the American dream, they can have a house, they can have a land, they can have a great career. That is all going away. That is all going away. Now, I saw one thing last night that really troubled me. Now, think about this, everybody. Everyone for the last, 4 years, 8 years has been making fun of Vladimir Putin, right? All over Putin. Putin's Russia. The Russia was Soviet Union. They were communists. They were this, they were that. Did you see that Vladimir Putin came out and said point blank that Russia will not be imposing a national mask mandate and Russia will not be imposing a vaccine mandate? Think about that. Let that sink in. Patriot, welcome to the show. PBQ, welcome to the show. So if you think about that, Russia is supposedly this horrible communist dictatorship, right? Horrible place. The enemy of America. So Russia and Putin are not instituting a mask mandate. They are not instituting a vaccine mandate. They are not requiring their citizens to walk around with vaccination records and papers. Welcome, Lou Rock. Welcome, Shafe. Thank you for coming in. So in America, we've got Joe Biden is requiring now or is going to mandate for up to 100 million people a vaccine mandate, which goes against our Constitution. It goes against our human rights. We have mask mandates coming back in again, right? Then you look at Russia. Russia's not mandating any of this. So we are supposed to believe that we live in a free country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer a free country. This is no longer a free country. We are being attacked by a regime that wants socialism. They want communism. They want to take control of our lives. They are telling us you have no choice over your body. Now, this is the same Liberal Party. Now, I'm not going to argue about abortion. I mean, my rights are, my feeling on abortion is, I think if a woman's been raped, if a woman should have control of her body up to a certain point where the baby is older. And then I'm not going to get into my abortion feelings. I am not steadfast against abortion. But the big thing that the Democrats always talk about is my body, my choice, right? My body, my choice. My body, my choice. How many friggin' times have we heard about that over the years? So it's your body, your choice when you want to have an abortion, but it's not my body, my choice when I don't want to get a vaccine. Now, again, for the people that come in here, I'm sure we're going to have people that come in and don't agree with me. That's okay. That's what this country's about. Now, I am a Republican. I lean more the right than left. I've been a Democrat. I have switched over. All right. I am now a Republican. However, my family's gotten the vaccine. Whether you like that or not, that was the choice we made. I'm married to a woman in the health field. We felt it was best for my wife and myself and my 4 children to get the vaccine. We all got it. None of us have had any side effects. We're fine. There have been no problems. However, it is not my right to tell anyone that comes into this show or anyone that walks by me at a football game or anyone in this country that you are wrong, I am right. It is a free country. We should have control over our bodies, and it should be our choice. For Joe Biden to get up and scold the American people last night just shows how off target he is, how he is basically just a dictator, no longer a president. And I see the comment from Patriot One. It's time for we the people to stand up. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. At this point, now, you know, there are mask mandates happening in certain places. Luckily, here in Massachusetts, we don't really have mask mandates for the general population, more for the kids in school. My younger 2 hate it, but they're doing it. They're going along and doing what they have to do. For me, I will wear a mask for my job because I have to earn money for my 4 children. So if I have to go to work and I'm required to go on a plane and I have to wear a mask, I will do that. If I have to wear a mask to go into one of my accounts, I will do that. If I have to go into a doctor's office, I don't mind wearing a mask there because I'm kind of a germaphobe and I don't want to get sick with all the sick people around. Other than that, I will not go into a store. I will not go into a business, and I will not put on a mask to appease this government who is out of control. They are dictators, and they are basically destroying our freedoms and taking them away from us one by one. Jess Duck, welcome to the show. I'm fired up this morning. I hope you had your coffee because I've had mine. So bear with me. For the people that are new, please share my live. I'd appreciate it. Please follow my show if you're new in here. I'm going to be ranting for a while, so just bear with me, and I will open the phone lines in a little bit to let people call in if you want to speak with me. But I need to get this stuff out right now because I could not wait until 11:30 today. I had to get home. I got on the podcast, and I'm just kind of freelancing right now. But I'm seeing things on TikTok. You know, there's a lot of good things on TikTok that you can watch about some of the rights that people are losing right now. I'm seeing nurses that are being fired because they won't get vaccinated. I'm seeing employees being fired because they won't get vaccinated. I mean, how can these companies and how can these organizations at this point afford to lay anybody off or fire anybody? Basically, at this point, no one's working. I mean, no one in this country is working, and that's what the Biden administration wants. They are trying to create a country where all of the people are dependent on the government. For me, when I drive up here, I mean, in your areas of the country, it might be different, but in my area of the country, literally every store you go by, Walmart, Target, Burger King, McDonald's, it doesn't matter what it is, any business, restaurants, package stores, anything that you go by, every single one has help wanted signs. Nobody could hire. In my area, right now, you could stock shelves at Walmart and get paid $17.50 an hour. $17.50 an hour to stock shelves at Walmart. I have a stressful job aside from this podcast. I'm thinking at some point, I'm just going to quit and go work at Walmart. No responsibility, just stock shelves and get paid, decent money. So, I see Jess Duck is not out of bed yet. But you were in the same place yesterday. See, it's good to spend time in bed. I'm with you. For me this morning, I was so upset by this. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I mean, this has been ruminating in my mind, and I don't know what to do. I see people that are posting on TikTok, that are posting on social media, and they're afraid. They know right now we're being attacked. They know right now that we have problems in this country where our government's trying to take away our freedom. Daniel, welcome to the show, my brother. Thank you for coming in. So I see people that are afraid and don't know what to do. And I have never seen this in my life. And, I do these shows, and then I think about what I talk about afterwards. I'm like, am I over the top? Am I crazy thinking this stuff? But you see more and more people that are thinking the same way we do. And you have to wonder, people right now think things are going to get better. I don't. I think they're going to get worse. Is anyone here paying attention to what's happening in Australia? And I see Dina Joe saying, same here. Culver's fast food, $20 an hour. That's amazing. I mean, $20 an hour, 40 hours a week. That's $800 a week. I mean, that's unbelievable that, that these places are paying that now. And I guess in some ways that's a good thing, but it's going to cause inflation, and it's going to cause some businesses, like, again, if you have to pay someone $20 an hour and you can't get employees, then you put up those self-checkout kiosks and then you don't have no employees. So, I mean, it's a good thing to raise, I guess, the salary. So people maybe that don't have college degrees, maybe that, like my son, Matt, who has special needs, I mean, that would be a very good pay for him, So I don't know. Yeah, so Snowpro saying he can't get anyone to come to work. I'm seeing that everywhere. Restaurants are having a hard time getting employees. And then you get customers that are going in and being absolute assholes to the employees that are showing up. I mean, that's one thing, pause in my rant. If you're going into stores and there's a long line, if you're going into a restaurant and there's a long wait for a table, or the waitress is serving, the whole restaurant, be patient and be kind. Give them an extra tip, because remember, yelling at those people, you're yelling at the people that came to work, right? You don't want to be yelling at the people that are actually doing the right thing. So even though it sucks right now and it's difficult, remember that the people that are in the stores, in the restaurants, and in Walmart, they are the few that are doing the right thing and coming to work right now. So show them support, maybe give them a little bit of an extra tip at a restaurant, and do your thing. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Australia a little bit. I don't know if you guys have seen what's happening in Australia. If you haven't, Google it. Look up some of the videos on Afghanistan, on TikTok. What's happening right now in Australia is ridiculous. I mean, right now, people are locked down to the extent where they cannot leave their homes for more than 2 hours a day, and they can't go more than 5 kilometers. That's about 3.1 miles away from their house. They are locked in. The only reasons they can go outside is to get food at the grocery store, if there's one within 3 miles of their home. They can go out for exercise, and they can go out for work. Those are the 3 reasons they can go out. There was a woman who had a dash cam on in her car, and she went out for a ride, and she went past the 5-kilometer law in Australia. She literally went past it and immediately was pulled over by a police officer with the lights on. She recorded the whole thing, and she said, why are you pulling me over? The officer said, you know exactly why I'm pulling you over. And she said to him, have you been following me? He said, yes, we followed you from where you live, and we followed you all the way down the road. We measured the distance that you traveled. Step out of the vehicle. She stepped out of the vehicle. They put the cuffs on her, and they arrested her. Chris Unplugged, welcome to the show. And I'm looking forward to seeing your show, brother. I saw that you have a show going out, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And again, I know you all know this. You've been in there. But, man, Chris Unplugged, I play when he's on and I get in. I put it on my phone. I put it on my speaker. My whole family listens, man. You are a beast playing the music. I absolutely love your show. And very, very impressive. So if you haven't turned into Chris Unplugged, what are you waiting for? Get in there and listen. The guy is literally amazing. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. So, what we've been talking about so far, I'm going to open up the phone lines in a few minutes. But, the United States of America is an amazing country. I believe it's the best country on the face of the earth. But right now, we are losing. We are losing. And I'm not sure what tyrannical forces above the president and above our government is controlling what's happening right now. But to have our president on last night and to lecture us like he did, and to tell us their patience is wearing thin with the people who are not getting vaccinated, I'm sorry, Joe, but the Constitution says we have freedom. The Constitution says we have freedom over our body. Just like when a woman wants to have an abortion, it's her body, her choice. With vaccinations, it's our body, our choice. And, for the government to start telling us they know what's best for us is scary. It's problematic, and it is going to end this country as we know it. I mean, right now, I've talked about this in the past. Has anyone driven by a car dealership lately? Drive by your local car dealership. There's one near my house called Sunnyside Ford. Great Ford dealership. Had my car there 2 weeks ago. Cost me $1,700 in repairs, but they're a good company. They do a good job. They literally have no cars on their lot. I was asking the service guy when I picked up my vehicle, I said, man, you guys have nothing. I've never seen this in 20 years of living out here. I've never seen so few cars on your lot. He said, unfortunately, we're joking about it, where we have more salesmen right now than we have cars to sell. And the reason why there are no cars to sell is because China, who makes the chips that go into cars, is not producing them. So this is a problem we've all been waiting for to happen when you've got a government, especially with Joe Biden and his connections in China right now. You've got a government that has been giving our business for 2 decades, 3 decades to China. Now we don't manufacture hardly anything in this country. And when we don't manufacture anything, we are at the mercy to these other countries that are manufacturing the things that we need for our everyday life. So right now, if you need a new car, good luck finding one. There's nothing out there. And if you happen to buy one, you're going to be paying way over Blue Book to get that car. So right now, I mean, what is happening in this country that's good right now? I mean, we're seeing gas prices $3, $4, $5 a gallon, right? We're seeing the disaster in Afghanistan where people were killed and left to die in Afghanistan. American people were left to die. We're left behind by our government. They left our service dogs behind. And now we've got, remember Joe Biden was saying Donald Trump didn't know how to handle COVID? Well, you know what, Joe? Right now, the Delta variant, the numbers are much worse right now than they were at this time last year. Much worse. Much worse. So you have done nothing to control COVID. So what are you going to do to control COVID now? What are you going to do to beat this pandemic? You're going to mandate vaccines for Americans. You're going to mandate them, telling people in the United States of America, you no longer have choice over what goes in your body. Where are we living? Where are we living? The United States is requiring a mandated shot. Russia and Vladimir Putin is not. We have mask mandates in the U.S. popping up again. Russia is not. So we think of Russia as being this horrible communist place. Really? Really? Hey, Linz, welcome to the show. So is Russia really what we should be afraid of? Or is it our own government? Is it the United States of America? I think right now we are finally, kind of like in The Wizard of Oz, when they pulled the curtain back and you saw the man behind the blanket, in The Wizard of Oz. That is what we are seeing right now in this country. We are finally seeing for the first time, our third eyes are opening, and we're realizing that we've maybe never had the freedom we thought we had, right? And right now, our government is brazenly telling us that we will do what they tell us. Goose, welcome to the show, brother. Thanks for coming in. Mr. A, let me take a pause in my rant. I want to ask you, how are you feeling? Maverick, welcome to the show. Mr. A has COVID, and I wanted to check in to see how he was doing. He wasn't feeling, and I expect that from Mr. A. What's up, good people? Not you, John. Well, Mr. A, see, I was looking out to see if you were feeling better, and, that's what I get for being nice, right? So, Just Talk, with all these vaccinated people, shouldn't there be less COVID cases? No one was vaccinated a year ago. I'm glad you're okay, Mr. A. Seriously, I hope you're doing well. PBG, welcome to the show. So now, Jess, this is what my wife says. Now, for those of you who don't know, of course, I brag about it all the time, so I'm sure most of you do know. But my wife's a doctor. Very proud of her. That's why I talk about it a lot. She's an amazing woman. I love her. She's brilliant, and I'm very proud of her. I was with her all through medical school, saw how hard she worked, and she's just an amazing woman. But she is telling me that people who are vaccinated, when they end up in the hospital, they are not seeing as severe a reaction to the Delta variant. They're still getting it. They're still getting sick, but not as many people with the vaccination are dying when they get COVID. The people that are dying more so are the people that have not been vaccinated, but the people that are vaccinated are still getting the variant or COVID. So let's see. So John, what are we going to do about this? Maverick, it's a good point. I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a second. And give me 5 more minutes, and I'm going to open up the lines, right? So let me finish my rant, and then I'm going to open up the lines. Anybody that wants to call in when I give you the okay, and let's have a chat about this. The one good thing that I see happening right now, and what is going to happen, and again, this is as long as the government doesn't cheat us, right? I mean, the government, as we know, has been separating us, right? They're separating gay versus straight. They're separating black versus white. They're separating left versus right. They're separating us right down the middle. But what we need to do, number one, is it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. And it really doesn't matter what party you think you support. We need to come together as American people all of us, and realize that we have the power. We have the power to decide what type of country we want to live in. There are 338 million of us and roughly 400 of them. Why are we letting them control what we do? Now, I'm not saying we go to the Capitol and have an insurrection, but we need to stand up, we need to protest, and we need to vote these people out of office. Now, that presents a problem. Right? That presents a problem. You're right, Maverick. When they divide us, it's easy to control the people. They know what they're doing. These are not stupid people. They are dividing us on purpose. And for everybody coming in, please like my show if you're new, and please share my live. I would greatly appreciate it if you could all do that if you haven't already done it. So I really appreciate it. So anyway, for the government, they're trying to divide us. They don't want white people and black people liking each other. That doesn't help them. That doesn't help them. If white people and black people become brothers and sisters, then they can't divide us anymore and use us against each other, right? We have to be smarter. We have to be better. We have to know that we have to unite to get past what this government is doing to us, right? We have to unite. We have to become one. And if we do that and we pull together, this government cannot stop us. We need to stand up, we need to unite, and we need to let this government know that we are in control. They are not in control. And they are not. We are in control of our country, right? Now, to take that a step further, what's the good thing about right now? Now, I've been in sales for my whole career, and I've lost accounts over the years, and there's nothing worse than losing a big account that generates a lot of revenue for your company. It sucks. So one of the things I've always thought about is, okay, you lost this account. That sucks. It's a big account, a lot of revenue. Your boss isn't going to be happy. However, it's sometimes an opportunity, because when you lose an account, that account goes to somebody else. And if somebody else doesn't provide the service that I provide, and if somebody else doesn't ship the products better, and if somebody else doesn't have better quality, then sometimes that customer realizes they fucked up and they come back to you. And then when they come back to you, you have a stronger relationship with that customer. That's happened to me many, many times over the years. So right now, I agree. The Democrats right now are playing over their head. They are not doing the things they need to do. And right now, we're looking at a 32 to 39% approval rate for Joe Biden. What are they going to do? If they remove him from office, they're going to bring in Harris. She's no better. She's no better. And don't start with the sexist bullshit. Don't start with the racist bullshit. I don't care if she's green, black, or blue. I don't care that she's a woman. People have gone, oh, you're sexist. No, I'm married to a doctor who makes 3 times what I do. I'm not sexist. I like powerful women. I like intelligent women. I have no problem with a beautiful woman being president. You know what? Candace Owens, I will vote for her tomorrow and support her every step of the way. She's an African-American woman. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. I would love to see her as president someday, and I would be the first person out to vote for her. Emily, welcome to the show. Yeah, you're right, Goose. Hey, thank you, Mr. Ray. I appreciate it. But the one good thing about, like, my little sales analogy there is, right now, the whole country is seeing how bad Joe Biden is. Right now, the whole country is seeing how he screwed up Afghanistan, how he bombed Syria, how gas prices are over $3 a gallon, how we're being told now we're going to be mandated for mask mandates. You know, the whole country is seeing the numerous things that he has done to completely destroy this company in a very short amount of time. So those people who are moderates, and even some of the Democrats, you are going to see them come to the other side come 2022, and they are going to vote for Congress, Senate, and they are going to be voting Republican. I predict that in 2022, unless the Democrats cheat again, we can open up that can of worms, but in 2022, we are going to see these seats go over to the Republican side, and then Biden is no longer going to have control. He's most likely going to have to step down because cognitively he's not there, and we all know that. I think all of America knows that. My wife voted for Biden, and she knows he's awful. She just didn't like Trump because she bought into the whole, well, he said grab him by the pussy, he said grab him by the pussy, and Joe Biden actually did it with his intern, and that was okay, I guess. So I don't know, but you're right. And dude, Goose, there you go. The Democrats and the CCP launched this biological weapon against us to get Donald Trump out. I believe it. I mean, Fauci, there are documented emails where he was working with the Wuhan lab. He knew. He invested money in this lab. Obama traveled there. We know there were correlations between this the United States, China, and probably Russia as well. I don't know if Russia was involved or not, but the US and China are definitely involved in this together. And there's no doubt, because again, if you think about it, Trump was taxing China. Trump was all over them, trying to cut down on the imports. He wanted manufacturing back in this country. So they wanted Trump out. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubt that they coordinated this. Now, you wonder sometimes, why isn't Biden in our government? Why aren't they holding China accountable when they know that this leaked from that Wuhan lab? Because we were part of it. We were part of it. We were part of the conspiracy. Our government did this. They did this. And now we have to we have to get the vaccine mandate. And for the new people coming in, remember, I'm vaccinated. Okay. My wife's vaccinated. My 4 children are vaccinated. However, every person in here and every person out there should have freedom of choice. You should be free to decide whether or not you want to put the vaccine in your body. For me, I'm vaccinated. When I go out, if you're unvaccinated, brother, sister, I'll give you a hug. You can come sit next to me at a restaurant, sit next to me at a movie. I don't care. I've done what I feel is right in my life. I feel that I've done the things that I feel like I should do to protect my health, okay? If I had died from the vaccine, that was my choice, my error. I'm high-fiving the big man upstairs when I get up there saying, fuck, I shouldn't have taken the shot. But it didn't happen for me. None of us got sick. None of us had anything more than a sore arm when we got it. But again, I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody. And I'm not here to tell anybody that they should get the shot. I felt like it was the right thing. I did it. But if you do not feel like it's the right thing, it is your country. It is your right not to do it. And you should not feel like you have to get the shot because it's mandated by your government, right? It's not right and it's not okay. So anyway, man, I didn't expect to rant for like 35 minutes, man, but I was fired up. I couldn't sleep last night. And it's time in this country, man. We step up and we start making decisions for ourselves again. And we start pushing back, because right now we have probably a vast majority of the population is afraid. And that's what the government wants. They want to divide us. They want, blacks and whites not liking each other, gay and straight not liking each other, left and right not liking each other. And they want us to be afraid, because if we're divided and we're afraid, then we don't push back. Maverick, I agree 100%. It's time to rise up. It's time to rise up. And I'm not saying, an insurrection. I'm not saying doing things like that, but we need to push back. We need to push back as people and not let our government tell us basically how we're going to live our lives. Because right now, think about it. Okay, I had this conversation with my wife, all right? And again, I promise, 2 minutes, we're going to go let you guys talk. I'm sorry that I'm going long. But I had this conversation with my wife, and she, she's a doctor, and she says, you should be wearing your mask. When she goes into certain stores, she puts her mask on. I don't. But I said to her, I'm like, listen, I'm 53 years old, right? And I don't want to spend the next 10 or 15 years of my life living in fear. I want to live my life. I could die tomorrow of a heart attack. I could die a week from now getting hit by a car. I could have a stroke in 7 years. I don't want to spend the next year, 2 years, 5 years living in fear, afraid to go out of my house, afraid to go into stores, afraid to go on vacation, afraid to go to the movies. I don't want to be afraid. I refuse to live in fear. One of the things I grew up, when I grew up, I grew up in an abusive home. I had a lot of fear instilled in me as a child. At one point, I learned the quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time is, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the mastery of fear. I agree with that completely. Everybody has fear, but you have to learn how to master your fear. So the way I've finally been able to be somewhat successful in my life, it took me a while, where I now have a wife, I've got 4 kids, I've got a good job. The way I did that was by saying, fuck it, not being afraid and going after things. And if I fail, I fail. I've failed so many times, I can't even begin to tell all of you. And again, if I go out to a movie 3 weeks from now and I get COVID, I end up sick, it was my own fault. It was the decision I made to do so as a free American. And if I die, I die. I don't want to die, but I also don't want to not live. And that's what's happening in America right now. Nobody's living. And across the world, this is a worldwide conspiracy. People are afraid. They're fearful. No one is living their lives. This is no way for people to live. It's no way for people to live. And, I hope that we get to a point where people start to resist, and I would like to see people peacefully resist. But if you go into a store and they tell you to put a mask on, don't do it. Don't do it. Tell them that you don't wear a mask, and if they don't want your money, find a business that wants your money. If Walmart and Target don't want your money, order on Amazon. Fuck them. Let them get on the tubes. Let them get on the tubes. If a restaurant doesn't want your money and another one does, go into that restaurant. You know, for the ones that don't want your money, fuck them. Let them live in fear. Do not let fear beat you. Do not let fear destroy your life. Do not let fear control you, because fear, in my opinion, is the greatest, I guess, concern that all of us should have in life, because fear paralyzes you. Fear destroys your life. Fear destroys your ability to pursue your dreams because you don't think you're good enough. You don't think you're pretty enough. You don't think you're handsome enough. You don't think you're smart enough. Fear destroys people. We've put up our own glass ceilings that we can't bust through. And the government right now is doing it for us. Watch the news. I mean, I have never seen the news out to scare people as much as they are right now. It's constant fear tactics. If you look on the internet, one quick, observation, the Arizona forensic audit. All right, we've been watching that. They haven't released it yet. Every fucking article you look at says the phony audit, the fake audit, the sham of an audit. Donald Trump is ridiculous. He's trying to fund it. They have done nothing but discredit this audit from day one. Now, if there was any hint that maybe there was cheating in the election, wouldn't the politicians want to know? I mean, why are they completely burying it before the results come out? I know why. Because they don't want the results to come out, and they want to basically turn people away from looking, thinking that the people who are pushing this are redneck guys with pickup trucks and shotguns with long beards that are just crazy, Americans. And again, it's a shame now that crazy Americans are people that wave the flag and stand for the national anthem. I mean, for me, I think crazy Americans should be the people that support the assholes that are kneeling down for our flag and not saluting our country and not saluting our troops. How about Nancy Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi went out of her way to show support for George Floyd. Don't get me wrong. George Floyd did not deserve to die. I did 2 shows way back when he was murdered saying George Floyd was murdered. So this is not about George Floyd. This is about Nancy Pelosi giving statues to George Floyd, giving him all kinds of contact information, giving him, all types of PR. However, when the 13 troops in Afghanistan were killed because of Joe Biden's incompetence, she would not repeat their names on the floor of the Senate. The Speaker of the House would not mention the names of the 13 soldiers, the 13 heroes, the 13 people that gave their lives for our freedom, the people that allow us to lay in bed in the morning, the people that allow us to go to work, the people that allow us to have food, to watch YouTube TV, to sit in our homes, to go for a walk. These people that give us our freedom and are willing to trade their lives for us to be safe. She would not mention their names, but she will give props to George Floyd, who was murdered, but he was a career criminal. He wasn't a good guy, right? What the hell is going on with our government? So, all right, guys, I'm ready to burst a blood vessel. So for anybody that wants to call in. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, we got Goose calling in. You are approved and in. Anybody else? Call and you're in. I'd like to hear from some of you as to what you're feeling right now. So, Goose, the microphone's yours. I need to take a breath. So go ahead and let us know what you're thinking.
These motherfuckers are out of control. I mean, they keep pushing this bullshit. Next gonna be the Second Amendment. If we don't do shit now, if we don't stay quiet, we're gonna get fucked. They're gonna be taking the guns away from us. They are. That's their plan.
The problem. Now, that's the problem in Australia. We were talking about Australia earlier, where people can't leave their homes. They can't go more than 3 miles away from their house. They've already taken the guns in Australia. You are damn right if you think that Biden wants to take our guns. You're damn right he does, because once they've divided us, once they've conquered us, then they take our guns and we can't fight back. You know what's funny, though? Biden should be more worried about, 30,000 AR-15s that he left in Afghanistan, the tanks that he left in Afghanistan, the helicopters that he left in Afghanistan. How about those things, Joe? Instead of worrying about the fucking 9mm I have up in my safe, how about worry about all the fucking ammunition and the guns you left in Afghanistan? Am I wrong, Goose?
No, you're right. You're freaking right. This motherfucker is a goddamn freaking criminal. He's a fucking gangster. And he got a big fucking goddamn criminal organization trying to destroy our freaking country. And we still have fucking 3 years and 4 months. Remember, these outers don't want to do shit. We don't have no justice in our country right now. You don't see no fucking Democrat going to jail right now. No.
Nothing. Nope.
So the shit is against us. We're going to have with the people, the Constitution. Give us the fucking power to do what we need to do to remove this motherfucker.
That's what we need. I mean, but you're right. Right now, I mean, there's all these reports about Fauci and some of the things he's done, the money that's gone to Wuhan, basically the fact that he's fabricated things and they're not investigating him. I mean, you look at Biden.
They
You look at
create this
Biden, his son
motherfucker.
Hunter with the laptop. You know, he had friggin' child porn on his laptop. How come Hunter Biden's not being investigated?
Yeah.
Joe Biden went with Hunter and had business trips in China where they were looking to make deals that would hurt the American country. But again, the media won't report on that. I've never seen anything like this where one party is not being held accountable. And it's not just there. It's us. It's us. I fucking dumped Facebook because every time I posted something, they'd suspend me. They'd delete me. Republicans get banned for anything they put. Democrats can say whatever they want. Now, how about Instagram that's owned by Mark, Zuckerberg? Instagram, the Taliban, or was it Twitter? Maybe it's Twitter with Jack Dorsey, that other asshole. But maybe it's Twitter where the Taliban still has their site, but Donald Trump was banned. Think about that. The previous president of our country was banned from social media, but the fucking Taliban is allowed to have an account, you know?
Yeah. This motherfucking bunch of pedophiles running our country. Think about it. They'll motherfucker come out with this business out of fucking basement. They're a bunch of fucking pedophile, goddamn child sniffing motherfuckers like Biden, a fucking criminal, his fucking family, bunch of criminals, and nobody go to jail in that fucking family. They're all stealing their fucking money in Iraq, his fucking family, in Afghanistan. You know, I think they're blackmailing that stupid ass. They got so much fucking dirt on his ass that he don't have no other choice but to fuck our country. Yep. That's what's going on. This fucking Democratic Party, and I fucking believe in this shit, they launched this fucking attack against us to get Donald Trump out. Now the fucking shit's out of control. They can't control that motherfucking goddamn virus. Now they want us to fucking take a goddamn vaccine. Fuck them. That's your decision, nobody else's decision.
You know, I had this conversation with my wife last night, and that's what I said to her. I was like, you know what? The vaccine, maybe it's safe. Maybe it's okay. I mean, Trump came out and said it, and I do trust Trump. I think he's honest. I know some people will laugh at that, but I do believe him more than I believe this current ass clown that we have in office. But I mean, it could be safe. But the problem we have in this country right now is that the people don't trust our government. The people are, worried that our government's lying to us. I think a lot of people think that Biden cheated in the election. Are you going to tell me that this son of a bitch got 84 million votes? Are you shitting me? Yeah. I mean, this guy right now has a popularity of 32 to 39%. He got more votes than Trump. He got more votes than Obama. He got more votes than Reagan. He got more votes. Come on. He did not. They cheated, and it's obvious. That's why they wanted the mail-in voting, so they could fucking cheat. And that's how they got him in,
It was well planned. There's no fucking way they could have get him out. Even cheating and all that shit. They had to freaking goddamn make up so much shit. We had so many fucking videos of them fucking cheating, but this motherfucker don't do shit. Even the fucking Supreme Court is so fucking crooked.
Yep, they're all crooked. That's why, one of the things I've always talked about, Goose, is in this country, the only way I think we can ever get out from underneath this is I would like to see, we get term limits for our president, which is great, but the president's a fucking figurehead. That's all he is. We need to have term limits for all senators, all congressmen, all governors, everybody, every politician down to school committee members. They all need to have term limits. And then instead of paying these people $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year, lifetime benefits, lifetime health care, lifetime pensions, give them a $50,000 a year salary. Give them the same health insurance that people who are retired get. Put them on Medicare. Let them have what the American people actually have and have true volunteers that want to come in to do this, not people who are career criminals. That is what the founding fathers of this country wanted. They wanted a government by the people, for the people, and that's not what we have right now. We have a government of control freaks, a government of the elite. And again, I'm not even talking about the 1%. I'm not talking about the people that make good money in this world. I'm talking about the multi-billionaires. They own the politicians. They own this world. They own all of us. And, even if you're driving your BMW and your Mercedes and you're living in your nice suburban house, if you think you're a member of that club, you are not. Because in that club, these fucking people molest children. They're pedophiles. You look at what happened on Epstein's Island. I mean, that's sick fuck. But these are people. These are politicians. These are famous movie stars. We have royalty. We have all the rich and the famous people in this world. And again, there were some Republicans on the list, but most of them were Democrats. You
Yeah,
had,
none of those motherfuckers that crooked. Check that fucking Paul Ryan. He
right.
stole fucking Trump first 2 years. That
He's a piece of shit. Yep.
You know, Trump, I mean, I think he should have fucking used Insurrection app the last fucking day. We were already in fucking chaos. I didn't give a fuck if he would have done that. He wasn't the White House. The problem was it was so many fucking cockroaches in the fucking government that everything he touched was fucking already messed up. I mean,
dude, I gotta interrupt you for a second. Before I got in the air, I I watched Scarface. And I heard Al Pacino saying fucking cockroaches during that movie. You just said it. Could you say it for me again? That was outstanding. Fucking cockroaches.
Yeah, fucking cockroaches, man.
I love it. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Our government and all our agencies are infected with corruption.
Right.
They are. The only way, like this Marine Lieutenant Colonel said the other day, we had to burn the system down. That don't mean you go down and burn the building. No, I mean the system. These people are so fucking corrupt that that's the only way. I mean, this guy stood up and told everybody the truth, and he got fucking demoted. Yep. They removed him from his commanding position, and then now he give up his freaking pension and everything because he truly believes in what he fucking say. And that's what we need to do. We need to fight back against this fucking tyrannical government.
We do. You know, one thing I've heard a lot, and hey, Maria, welcome to the show. I would love nothing more than to see this happen. I don't know if it would happen or not, but this would be the biggest boss move in the history of boss moves. How would you like to see Trump run for office in Florida? If he ran for office in Florida and he won, which he will win. So if he ran for office in Florida, he would win office. He would then go to Congress. And if the Republicans took back the House and the Senate, they could name Trump Speaker of the House. If Trump became Speaker of the House, he could then file impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden and against Harris. Could you imagine if he got into office, became the Speaker of the House, impeached Biden and Harris, Trump would be named president as the Speaker of the House?
I've heard people talk. I thought about the same shit, man.
Yep.
God damn, you're right. That would be the best plan. Get this bitch out. This fucking bitch out, goddamn ice cream eater bitch, when everybody else suffering. And then another thing, they let all these freaking migrants come through our country. And believe me, I don't have nothing against them, but they don't have to get vaccinated. What the fuck? We Americans have it, but they don't.
Let me ask you, Goose, where are you from originally?
I mean, I'm from Puerto Rico, but my family, most of my family from Mexico. My wife.
I love that because I'd love to hear you say that because people in the past have called me, they say I'm racist when I say that, people shouldn't be able to
punch them in the mouth when they call you racist. Fuck them.
Right. It's fine. Well, I mean, I didn't come over from another country, but my grandparents did. My father came over from Italy. My other grandparents came from Ireland. And for me, my grandparents went through it the proper way. Now, what's happening in the southern border is disgusting. You're right. They're not having to wear masks. What they're doing to the kids down there, they're allowing trafficking. They're allowing kids to be taken from their families. I mean, they accuse Trump of doing this. And what Biden's done is 1,000 times worse. And, maybe in this country, we need to be better about allowing people to become citizens. The country needs to be better.
All the human trafficking that's going on there right now.
Yep.
I mean, wake up, people. This shit's serious.
It is. Our country is literally going to hell right now. And, maybe in this country, we need a better way to get people legalized in this country quicker. I mean, for me, I would have no problem with having a mass ceremony where you induct people in as Americans that have been here. But I mean, you have to make sure you're not letting terrorists in. You have to make sure you're not letting, cocaine drug lords in from south of the border. There are a lot of bad people that are trying to get into this country. We don't need those people. If there are hardworking people in other countries that need a new life, that need help, that can't get jobs, that can't feed their families, then damn it, let them into this country and give them an opportunity. And I mean, as I've said now for you, Goose, one of the things that I hate about this country is you get people in a lot of the inner cities, you got people coming in from Mexico, from Cuba, from Puerto Rico, from Dominican Republic, from wherever, and they're coming into this country, and you really don't have the opportunity to get a good job. So the government is giving people welfare, they're giving people food stamps, they're giving people Section 8, and they're creating a dependent society. They want you all to be addicted. They want you to be addicted because, face it, if you can get now, if I was a father and I could get more money sitting at home for my kids than going to work, I'd sit at home and get more money. Maybe I'd sell some drugs on the side. Maybe I'd do this, whatever.
That's how they destroyed my island. They did that shit. They built like motherfucking every town, like 5, 6 projects, giving free rent to everybody. Now we had a fucking $75 billion. God damn. Because people don't want to work. The government's giving them every fucking thing. True, so we don't even have a fucking GDP.
Nothing. And listen, for the people that are just coming in, hang with me for a second. Don't leave. I want to talk to you some more. Hang in there. So for the people just coming in, we started the show by talking about Joe Biden being on TV last night. All right. You know how I feel about Biden. He fucked up Afghanistan. He's got blood on his hands. Gas prices are $3, $4, $5 a gallon, depending on where you're living in this country. He bombed Syria. The economy is not getting as good as people say that it is. And now last night, this son of a bitch gets on television and lectured the American people by saying to us point blank, our patience is wearing thin for the people that have not been vaccinated. And I will say to the new people coming in, I've been vaccinated. My wife's been vaccinated. My family's been vaccinated. We believe that people should get vaccinated. Okay, so I'm not some anti-vaxxer that's coming here yelling at Biden. But I do think that the American people deserve to have the right to choose. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. That's what the Democrats say. My body, my choice. How is this not applicable? So go ahead, Goose, or Maverick, whoever wanted to talk.
No, I mean, I believe the same thing you believe. I got my shot. My wife's a nurse. I was in the Army for 20 plus years. So she said, hey, you always get a freaking shot. Why you can't get this one? So I took the shot because I strongly believe in God. If something happened to me, I'm going to go to heaven. It don't matter to me. But it's your freaking choice. No, this motherfucker wacko fucking criminal. Fuck Biden. That's your choice.
Yep. No, he is. He is a criminal his whole life. And again, it's funny, they called Trump the racist. I mean, Biden, if you look at his history, research Biden's racial history, Biden was an outright racist. An outright racist against African Americans, against Hispanics, against a lot of different people. They called Trump a racist. Trump is the furthest thing in the world from being a racist. He is not a racist. You've got Biden, who's a fucking racist. He's the guy that has kept people down. Hey, Kapz, welcome to the show. I'm sure you guys have all seen Kapz's show. Funny guy, great guy. Make sure if you haven't got in, you check out Kapz's show when you're on. He does a really nice job. So, Maverick, you're in here. What would you like to say, brother?
Oh no, I'm just I'm enjoying the show here.
Thank you.
I wanted to touch on like what Goose was saying and what you guys were talking about. All these people coming across our border. I was reading yesterday that these, those charter planes that are sitting in Afghanistan with Americans on them that they won't let leave. It's not the Taliban not letting them leave; it's us not letting them leave.
Right.
The Biden administration said they can't vet these people, so that's why they won't let them land on an American base. But yet, we're bringing all these other people in from Afghanistan. We haven't vetted any of those people that we brought in. Plus, all these people coming across the border. We have no idea who's coming across, but yet we got Americans sitting in Afghanistan. We won't let them leave. They're sitting on planes, and they won't let them take off because they won't let them land on an American base. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, how about all the people south of the border that are coming in right now through Texas and whatever else from Mexico?
Exactly. We have no idea what's coming across the border.
They would let everybody in. Open doors. Just come on in. Come to America.
Yeah.
Free housing. Yep. Full Democrat.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly why they do it, because they want these people to come in because they know they're Democrat votes. I mean, we're giving them every fucking thing you can get. I mean, but Americans can't get shit when they need it. When they need a helping hand, they can't get nothing. But these guys come across the border illegally and get every fucking thing they can get.
Let me tell you this real quick. Now think about this. Now, this is right to what you're saying. My oldest son Matt is 18 years old. He has autism. He has Tourette's syndrome. He has OCD, and he has ADHD. Just went to college, community college. We're hoping he can do it. He's a great kid. he's getting Social Security from the government to help him with his disabilities. He was getting a total, of I think it was $600 a month. Okay. You can't even get an apartment for $1,200 a month in Massachusetts. So they give him $600 a month. And that is the first government benefit anyone in my family's ever gotten. So he's been working at Market Basket, part-time, bagging groceries. He makes $13 an hour. He gets paid maybe, on a good week, $250, which isn't bad. So when they saw that he was working and making money bagging groceries at Market Basket, they cut his monthly payment by $300 a month.
Yeah.
So they basically punished my autistic son for going to work, working his ass off, and bagging groceries for 15, 20 hours a week. They punished him.
You're right. Hello, everyone. Can I jump in? I'm not going to speak for long. I hope you're doing well.
Go ahead, brother.
But it's like same in England, mate. Like you declare anything that you do, and you've got problems within especially health and stuff. You get docked. You get docked for it. It gets taken off you. But then the people who sit on their fucking arseholes all bloody day, they get given money for nothing. And in our country, it's unreal. Healthcare free, everything free. So that's why every fucker wants to come into our country. But it's even more than that, really, because now, because of all this Afghan shit going on, and then yous have left and we've left, we've both left. And you know what's the problem? How many fucking insurgents do you think are going to come into our country brainwashed? Do you think that that's not a problem? Do you not think that's going to be a massive problem? Because it really fucking is. I'll bet you in the next year there is going to be more terrorist attacks now in England, in UK, and people say no, that is a load of bollocks. No. You've still got people sleeping on the fucking street in our country that are proper veterans, and then you're going to take on and you're going to give aid to other countries. You're going to fucking sort it out. You can't even sort your own country out. But that's all I wanted to say, and I fucking fully agree with you. It's fucking disgusting.
It is. I mean, and the thing that's scary, man, is, I'm talking about we need to come together in America as one. We need to come together in this fucking world as one right now, because we're seeing this shit in the US. It's happening in the UK. It's happening in Australia. It's happening, all across Europe. I mean, this is a worldwide thing that's going on right now. And maybe this is the Great Reset. Maybe this is all this stuff they've been talking about. But man, we have to unite together as people and resist this government, because again, we've got the numbers. I mean, why should we possibly let, like in this country, 336 million people, we're being controlled by 400 people? Fuck that. We have the power. And it's the same thing across the whole world.
Look at Germany. Look at Germany. Did you hear about Germany? Sorry, Maverick. Sorry, I'll say one more thing.
I haven't heard.
Already fucked.
Look at Germany.
They've been fucked for many years.
Germany, you know what they did? You know what they did? You know when the petrol prices went up? Yeah? What did they do?
No, go ahead and tell us.
Well, they literally stopped traffic on the motorway. Everybody got out their car and went home. I'm sure it was Germany. This was not long ago. Look it up. Might have been another country. I'm sure it was Germany. And you know what? They literally had to change the rates there and then, because otherwise the economy would have crashed. You know what I mean?
Wow, I did not.
So when people work together, yeah, you're right. When you all stand up and not 20% out of fucking 100. You know what I mean? That's when it works, but you've really got to drag them people in and make them realise we are a force to be reckoned with if we've got the number.
Absolutely correct, Kapz. You're right on, brother.
Hey, DeVito, the irony about all this fucking conversation, we've been here for fucking, an hour, 2 hours. We haven't freaking mentioned the main fucking actor that did all this shit, China. They're the fucking main one, and nobody's saying shit about China. And they're buying every fucking thing throughout the world.
Well, that's, what we were talking about earlier is you can't get a car in this country anymore because China's not supplying the chips, the computer chips. So there's no fucking cars to buy. They are in control of our country. And that's what people have said for years. When we don't manufacture anything in this country anymore and we send everything to China to manufacture, we may get it cheaper, but they're raping America. They are stealing the manufacturing. And what does that do to the middle class? I mean, we're talking about all the people that are on welfare right now. Those at one point, factory jobs were good middle class jobs. My grandfather, my grandmother, and my father all worked in factories. They worked in plastics factories. They worked in hat factories. They worked in a variety of different factories. Those jobs no longer exist. Now people sit home and they collect welfare, And that's what the government wants, because then you got to vote Democrat. Keep those people in office so they don't end up on the street.
This is the perfect plan. Check what happened to fucking Venezuela 3-4 years ago. They eliminated the fucking middle class. They use the low class to do all the vandalism, all the bullshit. Now, check what they got. Freaking socialism, communism in that country. And they used to be one of the richest country in Latin America.
Yep.
And they're using the same freaking plan in our country. They're going to eliminate the fucking middle class. Fuck that shit. Goddamn taxing the 1% because, you know, they got an army of fucking lawyers. They don't want to pay shit. We, or the middle class, are the one who going to pay all these fucking goddamn tax hikes.
Yep.
So wake up, smell the coffee. The shit's coming.
It's true. It is coming.
Well,
And, I go ahead, Maverick. You go ahead, and I'm going to have to speak a little bit because I get a work call at 10 o'clock. So I get like 15 more minutes. So go ahead, Maverick.
No, I was just going to say what Goose was saying. I mean, I always say it on our show. I mean, I just don't think there's not enough people awake. I think people are waking up, but we still as a whole. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, they know they keep us divided. They keep us down.
Yep.
You know, they know if we all unite and get over this black, white, and all this other crap and unite as one, you know, we can fight back. But until that happens, you know, we're gonna just be taking it up the. I don't want to. I try not to curse too much, but up the ass. Yeah.
There it
you know,
is.
I mean, it's basically what it is. I mean, you know, with these mandates and shit, you know, I mean, people are like, you know, I go through and I look, I like to go on Facebook and see what people are saying. And you get these idiots that are on there and like, oh, this is great. You know, and I'll give you a perfect example. My mother is one of those idiots. I love her to death. Don't get me wrong, but my mom's an idiot because I posted something yesterday about the vaccine, how I mandated that all you know, that so many people have to get it, all federal employees. And you know, she answered me. She said, great. They all should get it. Everybody should get the shot. I'm like, you know, my parents loved Obama. Now they love Biden for whatever reason, just because they don't like Trump, you know, because of the way he talks and stuff. And I think that's, you know, there's a lot of people like that. They voted for Biden because they didn't want to vote for Trump.
Trump couldn't shut his fucking mouth. That was the problem with him. If he could learn just to maybe keep in like 10% of the stupid things he says, a lot more people would like him.
And you know, and I see, I always catch heat for that when I say that because I say the same thing, you know, and everybody, oh, well, you can't criticize him. You're not a Trump supporter if you criticize him. You love Biden.
Let me address that. Personally, I think he's funny. It doesn't offend me at all. Now, to put that in context, my oldest son, who I was just talking about, has autism, Tourette's syndrome, OCD. When Trump did his little thing with the reporter, we was mocking like a special needs person.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I was initially, you know, my nose was initially a lot of joint. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? It was kind of funny. Back in the day, I would have done that too. And I actually showed it to my son who's autistic. He laughed. He thought it was funny. So, you know, we need to have a fucking sense of humor. And we don't have it anymore.
DeVito, I got to go against you this one. I mean, yeah, Trump, he might say some stupid shit, but at least he didn't do what this motherfucker are doing in our country right now. Yep. I'd rather be listening to all his stupid shit, but at least
he's honest.
He took care of our country.
Well, you know, and the thing is he said what every most of us were already thinking, you know, and that's the problem. I mean, I don't have that problem because I'll say whatever, you know, if I offend you, well, sorry, you know, I speak the truth. And that's what, you know, and we catch a lot of heat for that on our show because, you know, people don't like that, you know, but in my opinion, you don't have to like what I say. You know, you don't have to listen to my show if you don't like it.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, you know, oh, well, you know, bullshit. It is what it is. You know, if you don't like it, well, there's a whole bunch of other shows out there that will cater to you.
Exactly.
You know,
like the nail salon show.
What's that?
Like the nail salon show.
Oh,
nail salon show.
Yeah.
That's all,
I mean, come on. There's a show. There's a show about feet on here, you know, and it's in the top. And it's in the top 3 of Podbean. What does that tell you? It's literally about feet. That's all he talks about is feet. That's I'm crazy. Like, how the hell can this show be top 3 in Podbean? I mean, you know, I don't get it.
I've got a few minutes. I'm going to speak for a minute and then I'm going to wrap things up because unfortunately I don't want to end the show, but unfortunately I've got to get on a call very short. for those of you that are still in here, we still have a pretty good number in here. Make sure, I'm sure you've been there. It's like literally the best show in Podbean. Get in and see the Old Man's Podcast with Dina, Joe, and Eric coming up in about 10 minutes. Great show. If you're looking for a feel-good show, it's the show to get into. Good people talk about happy things. They make you feel good by the time you leave. Make sure you step out, check out Chit Chat with the Old Man and the Dean and Joe podcast with Eric Kirk. And Eric's going to be mad at me because I didn't tell him I was going to be on today. So he's probably not there. He's going to be pissed when he sees I was on. He'll text me and say, John, you didn't tell me.
82 Alpha every Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Eric's the guy that usually advertises all the podcasts. But listen, let me throw this real quick and then I'm going to wrap it up. We have a great country. And we are losing it day by day. And if you don't think that's happening, look what's going on. We are losing our freedoms daily. We are losing our ability not only to make decisions over our own life, but now decisions over our body. And again, you can even look at Texas. I mean, Texas, I don't love abortion. But but Texas is banning abortion, and Goose, you're a God person. I am as well. I don't agree with abortion, but again, if we're going to go by the "my body, my choice" mantra, we got to do it everywhere. So I don't know, but if you look at what's happened in this country, to see Biden get on television last night and to lecture the American people and to tell us his patience is wearing thin with us, Joe, let me be clear. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're not my president. You have dementia. I don't know if it's Nancy Pelosi's pulling your strings or who the fuck is doing it. You are out of control, and I will never give in to you. Never, never, never give in to you. Go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody had something to say.
So, hey, that's Susan Rice running our fucking country. We Obama. Both of them are running our country. That fucking bitch from Benghazi. Yep. The thing that you say about abortion, yeah, we don't support abortion and we don't support the motherfucking government be funding that bullshit. Using our taxpayer money to kill our kids.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I agree. It shouldn't be taxpayer money at all. It should not be. So listen, everybody, I hate to do that. Now, Dean and Joe, did you call on or was that a mistake? I don't see you on the panel. I got you a notice that you were trying to call in. Probably hit it with your finger. So listen, everybody, I have to wrap it up. I'm having a great time. I'll be on again soon.
Go ahead, get away with it. Take one more hour.
What's that? It's okay, Dean. Don't worry about it. Goose, Maverick, Kapz, thanks for calling in. For all the people
I appreciate it, John.
today, thank you. And I will be back soon. And all of us, it's time to start resisting. It's time to start pushing back.
Amen to that.
If we don't do it, we're going to be living in China before we know it.
And that's why I believe in fucking civil war. That's the only way I think.
I think so too, unfortunately. I think so too. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great day, and I will be back soon. Love you all. Take care now.
Great job, DeVito. Jay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And don't forget, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Nancy Pelosi and fuck Harris also, and all of them.
That freaking baked ice cream eater.
No, didn't she eat Montel Williams? Oh boy, look out. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, buddy.